Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum. I hope you're doing really well. Today I wanted to share something special on my channel, and it is my first session, and I'd love to see how it makes you feel. This is something that I've been practicing for the past many years. It's helped me get through a lot of internal chaos and has always made me feel very grounded. So I thought this is something that I'd love to share with those of you who follow me. And just to give a little introduction, my name is Humna and I am an art healer. I believe that art has the power to take us within our own soul and allow ourselves to express, create, and heal from the core within our being, where the pain or the grief kind of goes and sits there. And we work through these emotions to create beauty and be able to see that no matter how hard an emotion is that we go through in life, we are always able to get through it. Excuse me, in a way that it heals us and makes us much stronger. And for me, these sort of sessions where I share how to do art in a more conscious way is all about waking up to who you truly are as a being of light, as a being of this physical realm, and merging the two together. So, my understanding of Mandala art is that it brings focus to this very present moment. And this whole session is about focusing on just that. I've got some samples here that I'm just gonna show on the screen to show you how through the years, whenever it is there was an emotion that I was unable to express and voice in my own self or to anybody else or to in my therapy sessions, I used to go into zones of creating these pieces. I call them as little portals which take me into a world that is within myself. So, and make sense of what it is that I am feeling in that moment and having a connection with my own core being, because that is the one thing that we do not get the time to do these days, is because we're so distracted by everything outside of us that the inside gets left behind. And so these sessions are great to have a dialogue within your being with yourself and build that friendship with your own self. So I'll be guiding you how to create these mandalas through this session. You can sit there and listen, or you're most welcome to join in. My tools are really simple. I try to keep my tools just to the basics, just so that it's easy for everybody to do. I'll be using a pencil, a protractor, ruler, a compass, eraser, of course, and my ink pen. This ink pen is just, excuse my neighbor at the top who's jumping, it seems. And this is my ink pen. And I will be using ink, Ecoline ink. It's liquid watercolor. And the color that I'm using today is red violet. So it's kind of like a pinkish tone. The one thing before I start is that it's this awareness that when we are getting into a space of allowing ourselves to create, we have to be fully awakened. So all your senses, seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, all have to be activated. So for that, I always have a candle lit while I'm working, because what this does is always allows me to have that warm feeling of being held by my creator. So fire has always been an element that I really connect to personally. But for you, it could be anything. You could keep a glass of water if you wanted, or bring in a close plant if you wanted to bring in the earth element. And if you feel like, of course, we'll be doing the breathing through the session. So the air comes in. So you can even just do that. Or another really cool thing is that you spray the room before you sit down as a ritual to tell your brain the essence of your creator is with you forever, even though you can't see it, but you know that you can sense it. So that's very important. For me, the act of creating is an act of connection with my creator. I call it the ibadat because for me, connecting to God was one of the hardest things that I have learned to do, and it has only happened through my art. So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm using an A5 sheet of paper. Because of the screen, I'm using it horizontally. You're most welcome to place it vertically if that fits your mind better. Do whatever it is that makes you happy. The session is all about you coming into this present moment and allowing you to be here with me as I hold you and take you within your being to create beauty in this world. Just to start, usually I like to have an intention. So we can create anything, randomly sit down and start pouring our thoughts out. But then we can also allow the universe or God or divine, whoever you believe in, to guide us for in this moment, for those who are watching, for those who will be watching later on in the years to come. And for myself, what is that one word that we can bring our intention to so that we can give it full attention? These are the two mantras that I have in my life: intention and attention. So when you have an intention towards healing, then you give healing your attention. In the same way, when we pick a card, whatever it may be, these are just words that I have written down. If you feel like you want to share a word with me that you'd like me to work with in the next video, do let me know. And it will be like an intention of inspiration, basically, for us to get started into this session. So with that, please guide me. What is it that I need to have my intention towards today? In this moment, whenever it is that this person is watching this video, what is it that we need to focus on? Spirit. Now, when we think of the word spirit, spirit is something that connects us to the higher realms, to the unseen world. I would call it the ruh in Urdu. And so we're being asked to heal, to connect, to be with our ruh, and to kind of work and understand what truly is ruh, right? And for me, always have a little writing thing. So spirit for me is the ruh. Now, this could be something different for you. So I would take a few couple of minutes just to kind of write whatever it is that the word ruh or spirit makes you feel. For me, ruh is the connection to my divine creator. And so if this is me, then this is the divine creator, and this is the connection, which is the ruh. So I am connected to my creator through my ruh that is inside of me. So that was it. What is inside of me is coming from my Allah. And so that's how the story is begins, of how we create the grid together and where the concept takes us. So for me, ruh is that what is inside of me, which connects me to my creator. It is unseen, but without it, I can't experience life in this realm. It is also something that gets overlooked because it's not visible. People don't even stop to think about it. It's really important, this part of the session, because when you think about it, like, we're so excited, or we kind of just want to start creating, and then you're pulled back inwards to say, hang on, where does this take you? What is it that you'd like to work with? So there's a goal into focusing your energy into the word spirit, into the word ruh, your soul. Soul also is energy, right? Energy is light. The most amazing light that comes out is light is sun. Sun is masculine energy. Masculine energy is all about clear action, is movement. It's also giving, like the sun. The sun is giving. So we focus on the word sun, soul of sun, energy, light. And I don't mean masculine energy as in men. I mean masculine energy that is within us. So every being, every soul is divided into feminine and masculine energy. So when we balance the two within us, we create a balance, and we're able to live life being in action, taking action when it needs to, and in your receptive mode when you need to. But today, the Spirit is asking us to take action. So this could be a message for you, that you are meant to take action into that, what you need to move forward towards. So with these sort of, the concept is kind of developing in my heart. And I will now, the date today is the 5th of October, when I am creating this piece. Again, these sessions are timeless. So whenever it is that you reach this video and you're guided to it, is when you will be creating it. So you take on the date, whichever it is that is your date, on the date that you are doing it. So that's 5, 10. This is 7. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have the number 13 for today. It could also be 3 plus 1, which is 4, but I'd like to go with 13 at the moment. And so with that, kind of worked out the concept, what it is that being asked to focus on: light energy, masculine energy, moving forward, that sort of, that's our inspiration, that's our intention, that is what we're going to work through in this session. When we begin the session, always, 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 it's a really important part of when you're creating consciously, is to bring in gratitude, is to be grateful that you have been given this moment, this chance to connect to this canvas and be able to create through your tools. So be very grateful. Not everybody has the tools that are available to you. So bringing your awareness into this present moment. Take a nice deep breath in. Allow yourself to be fully present with me here. You can play a nice music in the background if that's what you feel like doing. I do have something playing at the back, but it might not come through. So you can do whatever it is that you feel like doing. Taking your piece, just touching it, making connection with it, allowing you to begin. To begin taking action towards that, what needs you, what is calling you. I'm going to go with a 10 centimeter circle today, just so that I can finish it in the session for this video. Using the dot, I'm creating my first line. A lot of people forget how important this act is. The intention of taking an action and starting this session and giving yourself this time that you are giving to connect to your own self. Now here goes. This is the process. The dot is what creates the line. Always. It is you who creates your destiny. You're here to do something. Every little thing that we do today in the session is all about focusing on what it's going to teach us. It's a reflection of life itself, this mandala. I'm going to use my ruler, place it on my horizontal line, which is 10 centimeters. And on my left-hand side, this you could choose to be right also. On my left-hand side, I'm going to mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.5 degrees. I've divided my horizontal line with these 0.5 centimeter dots. The reason I kind of paused was there are these dogs that start barking outside my flat, and it's been going on for a while when I do my meditations, and so I'm just kind of startled a bit, going, please, no, not right now. But then again, I guess that is the whole idea of when you're creating art or when you're creating something consciously, you have to allow your environment outside of you to just be as you zone in and not let that affect you. So I'm going to try my best to not let it affect me. And that's probably a teaching or a message that you needed to hear, that don't let the outside affect your creativity that's coming from the inside. Using the compass, I'm placing it on the center point. I always struggle with the inside circle, so I'm not going to do that at the moment. And I'm going to use every 0.5 and create a I always say to go both ways, right and left, when you're doing this circles. It really balances your mind. It's the right side, the logical and the creative mind. Excuse my throat. Struggling with a sore throat these days, but must be the activation of my throat chakra. That's going to happen this month in my retreats. If that's something you'd like to join in, to send me a message, leave a comment, or you can follow me on Instagram. All I'm doing right now is creating circles from the dots. There we go. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 circles. Now remember when we had the number 13. So how are we going to incorporate the number 13 is by creating 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4 more circles. And this is like you're going to be using the date that is your date when you are doing this piece. So now that might be a different number, so don't go with this one. And that's the beauty of being able to create a mandala and making it different every single day. So that's 2 lines in, 2. I'm going to go 3. And I'm going to go 4 here. Now I did not notice I did not measure the lines. I kind of just let them happen. That's the whole idea of allowing uncertainty to come into your piece. Once you've done that, you're going to take your protractor, place it on the center dot, align it with your horizontal line. And today I'm going to go with 10 degrees. So I'm going to mark 10 degrees on the top. When you connect with your soul, your spirit, it is in that moment you start recognizing what a powerful being that you truly are. And it doesn't happen in one go, by the way, because it doesn't sink in. We are so stuck in our heads that we can't really focus on the soul or the spirit. And the only way to do it through meditations or this sort of act where you lose your mind, you let go of logic. For logic is not something that will help you on your path of spirituality. Using your ruler, you're going to create lines that connect the two dots up and down, cutting through the center. Now, generally, some people like to not move their sheet of paper, but for me, during these sort of visual meditations that I do for myself personally, I like to change. I like to move the paper because it symbolizes for me that Humna, you're not meant to be just looking at one direction or one perspective. In different situations, you need to look at it from different angles, from what other people are also feeling. You can't just go into something saying, this is right, this is what I want to do. You have to help other people also either see your perspective or see their perspective and see how you can bring things together. The world is connected. It's all interconnected to each other. So you can't just take a decision based on what it is that you feel is right. It needs to be compassionate. It needs to be done with kindness, whatever it is that you're wanting to do. I love the sound of the pencil as it slides through. It's all about slowing down, so don't rush this process. I always think of them as me climbing this ladder. Once you've done that, remove all the tools from you so that you have space to work. And when you look at this space, remember how we had that word of intention, which was spirit, which was soul, which was light, which was sun, which is energy, which is movement. So from the inside out, we're going to use just our pencil and try and see what is it that we can work with. As when we say, when we think of light, light is all about that reaches us. So I'm just going to create these lines, 1, 2 in the middle, in a rhythm. This is really important, guys. What happens is that we generally tend to rush through life. And meditation is all about making us value life, value your being. So the rays of the sun, there we are. So kind of, I'm looking at it thinking, okay, the sun always gives the light. It always opens itself up to give us life. Now, when we think of life, for me, it's always plants and floral and, you know, blooming things, like the feeling of opening. So I'm going to see if I can bring in that open. How do I open this? So I'm going to create a weave. Always remember, it's the rhythm, it's the repetition that your brain needs. In this part of the session is all about engaging your mind and following a certain rhythm. You see, it's like open like this. So that's the shape. And then, okay, so once I'm open to whatever is going to come, I know that it's going to be safe for me. So safety is all about enclosure. Safety is all about being inside. So as much as I'm open, look how I'm open here, but I also need my safety. So I will take the actions that I need to. I will make the movement, but I will make it with the understanding that if it doesn't happen, I'll be okay. I'm safe. If it happens, I'm safe. If it doesn't work out, I'm safe. It's really important. And that's what this next shape is bringing in. Now, again, this is your journey. So you will choose what shape you would like to bring in when you feel safe. Now, when I look at this, I automatically see things like coming out, giving to others, and also taking care of myself because I am keeping myself safe. Now, I look at this and go, okay, where else, what else can I do? So I would also like stability. When we talk about spirit, spirit is not something that is just fluid. It is something that connects us to our intuition. It is what gives us stability in the unseen world when things are very uncertain and we connect within our being, we gain stability. And then it is spirit who gives us the stability, but also helps us to protect from any negative thoughts. It is our intuition that guides us how we can be there for ourselves. We're constantly being told by our heart, this person is good for you, this person is not good for you. And how do you know that? Is when you interact with people or you go to certain places and you don't feel right, you know, and that's your intuition, that's your spirit, that's your soul, that's the guiding energy within you that's guiding you, and it protects you. So you don't do the things, you don't hang out with people where you feel drained and dead and not celebrated. So that's where the intuition gives you stability. It opens you up, but yet makes you feel safe. You're okay from the inside core. It gives you stability. And then this is where your protection, you are being protected as you choose the path of spirituality, as you go within yourself, you are safe in your body. And then you ask yourself, okay, I'm safe. When we think about spirit, we also think about love. Love is always soft. Love is always something that holds you. Love is very forgiving, very gentle. It's not pointy at all. It's not needy at all. It doesn't attach itself to anything. It's very calming. It's very, it's love. It's very real. And it's like an umbrella. Those who love you kind of, so spirit is love. It is the highest form of energy. The soul that you have within your body is love, the love of your divine creator. And so how can it not be love? How can it not be soft and gentle? And when you connect this whole thing, the feeling is that you are alive. When you are alive, you grow into a beautiful flower, into a beautiful butterfly. And so these are your petals. When you allow yourself to just be, to be okay with feeling weak, to be okay with feeling unstable, to be okay in not recognizing what's right and wrong. But your soul, your spirit, the connection you build with your soul is the connection you build with your creator. And then when you look at this, you can see your creator, no matter where you are, will always be watching you. Your growth is written by your creator. So you really have nothing to worry about if you think Your growth here is protected and is washed over. Oops, sorry, made a mistake there. That when you make a mistake like this, right? You ask yourself, "Hey, why did I do that?" Oh, and then you remind yourself, for you will always make mistakes, for you will always need your creator, for you will always need that energy, that guide, that spirit within you to hold you and remind you that you are weak and you are meant to make mistakes. Don't think you're like know it all and everything. And also, once you look at it, okay, it's not that bad a mistake. What if I'm being asked by the spirit to take that as a pattern? Oh, hang on, I'm learning something new. I'm allowing my intuition to take care and allow my mistakes to be that what I celebrate. And here we go. There we are. Our mistake, when looked at intentionally, becomes a pattern, becomes something that we can work with. And that guides us to take the next step. So sometimes when we look at the steps that we've taken through our intuition, they might look wrong to us, like, oh, what have I done? You've only done that so that you could take the right steps forward. So you took a wrong step. So you made a mistake. So you fell down. So you committed a sin. Then what? You are still protected. You are still watched. You are still light. You are still the love of your creator. You do what you want to. You will always be loved for who you are. That's what came out. Now, using your ink pen, you're going to see if you can ink it. Always, 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 always start from the center. Why is this so important? Because it is in your center that you hold the power to connect to your creator. Your center being, your light, your soul, is where your creator holds you from. You can't see it, but you can feel it. When you do these exercises, connecting with yourself, or whatever medium that you choose, over a period of time, you become so comfortable in silence, you become so comfortable in being uncomfortable that nothing and no one can take away your peace. Because in your core being, over time, you've reprogrammed yourself that your creator is with you. Your creator is watching you. Your creator loves you more than you can ever imagine. There. Spirit, your soul is a gift from the creator. It was given to you as your guide. Is that what holds you and guides you back home to your creator? I'm really sorry, guys, about this person on the top in my flat. They're usually really quiet, but I'm thinking that maybe I'll change the time of my recording so that I can not have them. I apologize. Most times we get very unmotivated as a creative person, we get a block or something. I hope this helps you in some way making you feel more grounded and know that, every day you can learn something new, even though it's the same thing, right? It's the same philosophy. Gosh, this person is so noisy today and it's constantly making me feel, what is this? What is the universe telling me in this moment? Is again and again, don't let the outside take away the peace from the inside. I'm not. It's also learning to be forgiving towards yourself. It also letting the world be as you allow yourself to go deeper within you. The world is not going to come with you. People around you are not going to always understand your efforts towards your healing, because it's a journey you have to take with yourself, right? My neighbor is not going to change, or my family is not going to change just because I am changing. And the expectation that they should change or they could change and they would change is slightly unnecessary if you think about it. The whole point is to be okay with what is. Repetition is a must. When you constantly repeat a line, a circle, a shape, a pattern, or whatever, your brain is actually getting programmed into recognizing that whatever it is that you're doing, you're okay doing that. You've got it. So repetition is like magic. It's like the more you practice repetition, the more precision you'll get, the more intention you'll get, the more attention you'll be able to give, not just the piece, but everything in your life. Mandala Art teaches you that no matter you knowing the path, there are still some surprises along the way. You know how the mandala is created, and yet every time you create a mandala, it's going to be different from the one you created before. Why and how? Because you change every millisecond. You grow, you absorb every millisecond. That's the beauty of being you. I always love organicness in my pieces. So, as much as precision comes, I always like to give it a little bit of like random roughness. So, when I'm going into color, It's so important to sit in silence and allow yourself to just not be thinking much of anything. I used to really struggle with the idea of meditation, but I was always curious because I love the people who did meditate. When I looked at them, there was this sense of peace in them that I just would do anything to have that peace, and I just didn't know how to um, to get that peace. And when I realized that through my visual meditation, I am able to bring myself into the present moment because I'm a very visual person. I needed to do something visually to connect rather than to connect to my soul. Some people would do it through audios, some people do it through singing, some people do it walking, whatever it is that your way of meditation is, as long as you're giving yourself that time to be with you, that's just what you need. You need to become your own friend before you become a friend to others, basically. And to become your own friend, you have to recognize that the soul within you, given to you, is your best friend. This person is so busy today. Again, I'm reminded, Humna, be forgiven. Be okay where you are. Look what you're doing. Allow that to become your focus, not what is happening around you. It's so easy to get distracted, guys. It's so easy. Of course, at any point you're going to forward the video, and that's fine too. There's a quote by William Morris. He says how in design, whatever it is that you're creating, make sure everything is connected to each other, not just haphazardly placed. But it's so important to have that connection, one to the other, to the next, to the next. And that's one of the things that the Mandala Art also teaches us is everything is connected, one line to the other. When you start doing this, you might find it slightly boring. It's like, oh my God, how do I move forward? But then the more you do it, the more patience builds in you, and you recognize like how calming it is to just allow yourself this time to create beauty. I constantly call it creating beauties because to me as a child, I read somewhere that beauty is God. And I always wanted to meet God or be with God or whatever it is that, because the world didn't make much sense to me. So I kind of thought, well, I don't want to be here. Or where do I want to be? And it's because I wanted to be with God. And how do I be with God is by looking and finding and searching beauty in everything that I do, and everything that happens to me. So if something bad has happened, I've got a cut on my hand or something, I'll always look at the beauty that, oh, it's because now I can't write. Oh, so maybe I'm, needing to take some break from my homework, which is kind of beautiful, isn't it, as a child? But yeah, that was a silly example, but you know what I mean, like always looking for beauty. And it's not easy. You have to train your brain to, no, that makes a, that was rhyming, train your brain to look for beauty because it's really not something very easy. Because, like I said, you get distracted. I use an ink pen, but of course you can use markers, you can use pointer pens, you can use gel pen. And the reason I personally just use one color through my mandala meditations is because I don't want to use my brain in focusing as what color to add or what medium to put in. I take that hassle off my brain because my focus needs to be that what I am creating, which is helping me to have a dialogue with my inner self. So that's more important rather than me focusing on the silly things like what pen to use or in this scenario, not like otherwise. Even if you try to copy exactly what I am doing, trust me, guys, it will never be the same. That's the joy of being a creative person, is like you look at the screen and you're like, oh, I like what she's doing, well, let me see what I can do. And that is you taking the initiative. You're just allowing me to be somebody holding the space for you, creating a video where you are inspired to do your art with me. It's not about you copying me or doing exactly that what I'm doing. It's about learning to see, enjoy, see if you want to copy where you want to, learn where you want to, be inspired where you want to, be open to learning, to be open to experiencing whatever comes through, rather than this is what I'm going to do. Like, there's just so much control in that. This is what I want to do. Rather, maybe say, let's see what comes through and then see how the flow happens. This was really nice feeling in being able to turn your canvas according to how your hand wants to move. Guys, I'm so sorry about this neighbor. After weeks and months, I sat down today to do this session, and again, okay, the spirit is saying to me, see what you do there, Hamna. You keep apologizing for something that you're not even doing. The barking of the dogs, the loud neighbor, is it something you're doing? Did you plan this? No. So what are you apologizing for? For something that you are not in control? Yes. Can you change it? I could stop the video, but would it not stop what you're doing? Yes. So what are you going to choose? I'm going to choose to be with my spirit. I'm going to choose to be with my soul. I'm going to choose to be inside me and let that peace within me help me not get worried by the outside. I hope that is a message for somebody, whoever it was meant to reach. The session was good for you and you enjoyed it. If you did create something with me in this session and you feel like sharing it, you're most welcome to tag me in Instagram or share it with me. You can connect with me through my Instagram and leave a comment down below. If you feel like it was good and other people would enjoy it, if you have children who might enjoy it, please share it with them. And I would love to hear from you. And if you have any guidance or suggestions, if you're like, oh, this is what I would like to do more, you're most welcome to send that suggestion across and I'll see what I can do about it. You know how I said I do like random things, and when I see the rays of sun, I always see like they are shining on everything. Everything gets lit with the soul, with the spirit. So I'm gonna be like, I'm doing this as a way that doesn't always, when it shines, doesn't always bring out beauty. Sometimes when we allow light to shine, we also see the demons that are inside us. So this could be like a symbol of imperfections that get illuminated when we allow ourselves to go within. When we connect to our spirit, it is the spirit that guides us, saying, notice, Humna, how mean you've been to that person. Notice how rude you were when you were blah blah age year old, or whatever, you know what I mean. There we are. That looks good. I don't know what it is, but I never sign my pieces. I'm being called to do this, guys, so I'm gonna just quickly do this before I end the session. Do let me know what you think about it. I will be sharing this once a week. Hopefully, I'll manage. So that every week you can get a new word to put your intention into and be able to connect with your deeper being. It's so important to become your own friend and be able to spend time with yourself. And I'm going to add this creative beauty, because beauty is what connects us to our creator, because our creator is beautiful. That is why he created you and me. So beautiful. All right. I am going to use my eraser. I know that the side would be slightly wet, so I'm not going to go there. This is just so that you guys can see how it looks. Now you can add color to it. You can add whatever you want to it. I generally like them one color just because they make me happy. They give me clarity. They give me hope. They ground me. They remind me that I too, in a very small way, can do something in this world where I can create beauty. Yeah, that's it. I have this very strong fear that there'll be a point which will be wet and I will smudge it. So that fear is what I'm going to not let me keep going and doing something wrong. I really, really hope you guys enjoyed this session. Let me know how you felt about it. And I will see you guys in the next session. Lots of love, everyone. Take good care of yourselves and have an amazing week.